Okay, now that we know how to move through harmony in all sorts of ways and create melodies on top of them, how do we move in between keys? And now we get into the realm of modulations. Now, many modulations, or most of them actually, are very simple and very common. So one of them is half step up, another is a whole step up, and then there's 1.5 step up. So you could go from the key of C to the key of D flat, from the key of C to the key of D, or from the key of C to the key of E flat. All of these are relatively common, especially in the 70s and 80s, 90s maybe even. And they're not difficult to explain. You just do the same thing up higher. So that's it. Just do the same thing up higher. That's all it is. Okay, another thing we can do is move to the parallel minor or major. So parallel modulation, which would be from C major to C minor, or the other way around, moving in between those. Again, not much to explain here. So what we're going to take a look at is a modulation through a pivot chord. A pivot chord. A pivot chord, what is that? Well, let's take a simple progression like C major 7, F major 7, G7, and you could repeat this infinitely and it would sound relatively musical. Going from the tonic to the subdominant to the dominant, to the tonic, to the subdominant, to the dominant, to the tonic. Okay. However, what if we imagine that G7 isn't just the 5 of the key of C, but at the same time it's also the tritone substitution for the key of F sharp. And from here on out, we move to F sharp, major 7, and then B, major 7, C sharp 7. Right? Now, this key is 1, 4, 5, except this could be the tritone sub for the original key. And you could make this loop, moving in between two keys continuously. And this is not really the point. The point here is to show you that one chord can have two numbers, two analysis in two different keys. And this chord acts as the pivot from one key to the next key, in between two keys. And that's what the pivot chord is and what the pivot chord does. That's how pivot chords work. Now I've used the dominant or the 5 chord and the 5 chord, but it's tritone substitution, but it could be anything. You know, you could use the sharp 4 chord as a diminished chord in one key, but then just reimagine it as a dim substitution in another key. You could take the, I don't know, the 7 chord in a major key, which is a half diminished chord, and you could reimagine it as a 2 in a tritone sub 2/5. I don't know. You can come up with any sort of construct as long as a chord can help you get to a different key. That's modulation through pivot chords. And once you do that, we might be ready to at some point start talking about modal music and then atonal music. But for now, I think we've pretty much reached the end of functional harmony. So what I think I'm going to do now is do this whole playlist over again, but this time we are going to take our time and check out all the examples and really dig into everything that can be dug into. Because for now, you are done and you've learned it all. Congratulations, good luck, and have fun.